Hi fam, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Akubeze and I'm a Christian content creator based in Lagos, Nigeria. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my fasting experience with you. So stay tuned to hear all the mistakes I made and also the lessons I learned. So quick disclaimer, this fast was a spiritual fast, not a dietary or vanity fast. I was not doing it for aesthetic purposes. I was doing it for spiritual reasons, and I was fasting more than food. I fasted food, I fasted secular content, I also fasted personal contact and social gatherings. Just so you bear that in mind, because I noticed that when I was undergoing my fast, I kept looking for fasting tips, and most of the videos I was seeing were for people who are doing it for dietary reasons. So if you're looking for, weight loss fasting, this is not the video for you. Just leave now. But if you're interested in hearing about my spiritual fasting experience, then definitely keep watching. I fasted for 33 days. From the 31st of December to the 3rd of February, I was fasting. So on the 31st of December, I was prompted to do a 24-hour fast. So I didn't eat for 24 hours, but I was still drinking water, and I also was not in contact with anyone for 24 hours. I shared with you, if you've been watching my videos, I shared on my channel that I was doing that fast. And when I was doing that fast, I just kept praying and, asking God for clarity about the new year. And a lot of what I was reading and picking up on kept talking about the power of the midnight hour. How, Paul and Silas prayed and they got their answer at midnight, and different examples. I don't know, I just kept picking up on the power of the midnight hour. And so I now told myself that, okay, I would start off the year with a 12-day, 12-hour fast. So for the first 12 days, I plan to do 12 to 12. So 12 p.m. to 12 midnight, I would not be eating. And then midnight, I would break my fast with prayer, praise, and then, eventually eat food. I really wasn't excluding talking or social media at that time. But then that 12 to 12 fast on day 2, literally on the 2nd of January, I got into an argument and I lost my temper, and I violated the spiritual aspect of the fast. Because one thing you need to realize when you're doing a spiritual fast is the food part is just one element of it. The spiritual work is even a whole other aspect of it. And I feel like that's where I really struggled when it came to my fast. So on day 2, I lost my temper. I feel like I violated my fast, but I still continued on. By the time I got to Port Harcourt for my dad's chieftaincy title, I found that I stopped doing the, should I say, spiritual work as much, because during fasting, all I was doing was listening to gospel music, listening to sermons, coloring my Christian coloring book, and just, feeding my faith, reading the word of God. I was not getting distracted. I was praying, I was, seeking God's will. But by the time I got to PH, I started getting distracted. I wasn't, doing that, my spiritual work as much. I wasn't, just, when you're just in that spiritual bubble, it's just you and God and you guys are just enjoying yourself. I obviously came out of that bubble because I was focused on, helping out with the event preparation. And then I now noticed I was getting greedy, because the way I would pack food like that, I would use to break my fast at midnight. Meanwhile, when you're fasting, the point of keeping away food is you're meant to be keeping away distractions. You're meant to be feeding yourself on the word of God. You're meant to be feeding your spirit instead of feeding your flesh. I hope that makes sense. So, I found that I was still feeding my flesh, even though I wasn't literally eating it. I would pack food and just keep it till midnight. And then after a while, I even stopped doing the midnight prayers. It just watered down. I feel like I got discouraged because I had already broken the fast on the 2nd. And then while I was in PH, I came across my friend Tamara's video where she did a 21-day water fast. And she spoke about how, in fact, the video has gone viral. So she spoke about how, the fast just changed her life. Everything just elevated. And I was like, oh, maybe that's what I need to do, because this year is my appointed year, I have been prophesying. And I want my next level so badly. I want God to really turn his face towards me and just change my story. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do the 21-day water fast. I started researching it, and apparently it's even good if you reduce how you've been eating before you start doing the fast, so that you're not as affected, or your withdrawal is not as much, let me put it like that. So I felt like I was pumped up, I felt like I was ready to go, and on the 13th I decided to start the 21-day fast. At the same time, my church started doing a 21-day fast as well, so I felt like it was all aligned and I should just press in. Like, I didn't feel like the 13 days I had done was enough. I wanted to do more, so I decided to go in, and I started a 21-day water fast. No food at all, no lemon, no supplements, no nothing, just water. And I was vlogging the journey, but my plan was to vlog day 1, day 7, day 14, and day 21. Today is a very special day. Today is day 1 of my 21-day water fast. I can't even believe it, but I'm a bit intimidated, but I'm praying the Spirit is with me. I was led to do this, so I know that God is going to see me through. Like, I've been at a place in life where I don't feel like I'm satisfied with my current level. Like, I feel like I'm ready for more. Pastor B was saying how, like, there was a reason, like, you have to get to a point of dissatisfaction and then you're now willing to do something extra. Like, that is why Jacob was able to fight with God, because he was like, nah, you must bless me. Like, and he had a broken hip as a result, but there is value in pressing in, there is value in making sacrifices for God, there is value with showing God that, you know what, in fact, I was watching a sermon yesterday by Apostle Selman that was talking about spiritual investments, and I was like, this is what I'm doing. That's just the best way to do it. I'm investing in my spirit right now. I was doing a 12 to 12 fast, so I just continued on the fast until now. It's currently like 3 p.m. so I'm just a bit over 24 hours of not eating. I feel good. Water is the vibe right now. I am expecting blessings on blessings on blessings. Even my sister was like, she's concerned, like, am I fasting for anything in particular? I'm like, there's nothing in particular I'm really fasting for. I just need more. Like, when you just feel like this is not enough, I want more, God, and I'm showing you I'm serious about it, and we're gonna be here until you give it to me. So blessings. I just want to move to the next level in my life. I'm also really committing my healing, my acne healing. I decided to go off the Roaccutane because I want to believe in the miraculous power, but I feel like I was a bit too impatient by getting back on it. So I'm believing that my healing will be permanent. I have issues with gastritis. I want them to be I want that to be healed. I have a sugar addiction. I want that to be cured completely. Like, I don't want to be reliant on sugar anymore. And that's it, y'all. So we shall see how it goes. Let me not make day 1 too long. But unfortunately, I never made it to day 7 because on day 6, I literally had like, I don't even know what I would call it, but I had an awakening. And I just figured that, you know what, I am approaching this fasting the wrong way, and yeah, I'm playing with my life at this point. Something else I meant to mention with this 21-day water fast is that I was being super strict. Like, I entered into a retreat, so I was not seeing anyone. I was not going for any social gatherings. The only thing I was doing was church or religious activities. I was not talking to anyone after 12 p.m. My phone was off, and it was just me and God. Like, I was so serious, so I didn't want to get distracted. I didn't want to compromise not only the food aspect of it but also the spiritual aspect of it. So I was going on strong, but day 3 I started noticing I was getting hungry, I was getting weak, and I was like, okay, this is fine, but I'm pressing in. That's when I started watching other people's fasting tips to motivate myself, and I kept feeling like if people are fasting for weight loss, like people are doing like 40-day fast. I even watched one babe that did a 120-day just water fast. I now started challenging myself. People are doing this fast for weight loss, so of course my spirit is strong, of course I can do it. But my dear brothers and sisters, by day 4, I started noticing that my pee was foaming. So I'm like, what's going on here? Like, like I said, I wasn't talking to anybody about it, so I didn't talk about it. I just was noticing and I just kept it to myself. But day 5, I now noticed that my spit was foaming. Like, it was difficult for me to swallow my spit. And I forgot to mention that on day 2, I literally came down with the flu. But funny enough, the flu was not really an issue for me. I just was drinking water, and they always say stay hydrated. And I also wanted to challenge myself to see, if my body could heal itself without me taking medicine or anything. So I didn't take any medication. I was still going on, and the flu, I got over the flu. The issue was now just when I started noticing this foam in my pee and in my spit. day 6, I literally couldn't drink water again, because once I put water in my mouth, it would like foam up. Like, it's weird. I couldn't even record. My energy levels were so low. I was still recording my word of the day videos. So it's interesting that nobody noticed that, because I was losing weight. I feel like, my weight loss was already so drastic as well. And something else I did very differently on this fast was that every day of the fast, I was intentional about which topic I was studying. So during the 12-day fast, I was just randomly, like picking whatever sermon was coming my way. So I feel like I was just kind of all over the place. So for the 21 days, I was intentional about, okay, day 1, I'm doing Thanksgiving. Day 2, I'm doing patience. I was very intentional about studying the fruits of the Spirit, love, faithfulness, gentleness. Like, I was going ham. So on day 6, funny enough, I was studying love, and I started studying God's love, and I started just asking myself if really what I was doing was necessary, because I know fasting is biblical. Like, even Jesus fasted, Esther fasted, Daniel fasted, Moses fasted. Like, so many characters in the Bible, there are stories of them fasting, especially when they were seeking God's will or seeking favor or, seeking something. They were always seeking something. Even though Jesus didn't say he was seeking anything, he just was led by the Spirit to do that. So, I felt like, I know fasting is biblical, but then I now started questioning, am I really doing it because I'm seeking God's will, or I'm seeking a better relationship with God, or more so because I'm trying to add like extra ginger to my prayers? It's like I feel like at the back of my mind, I felt like God would answer me more if I was, making that sacrifice to him. And that's the thing, I don't know, I'm just sharing my story because I'm hoping this will lead to a conversation, because I still not come to a conclusion about the matter. Like, what does it mean? Like, God will still bless you if you don't fast. So why is it a thing? And it's interesting because there's even a part of the Bible where Jesus is talking to his disciples about casting out a demon from this guy, and he was like, oh, this is the type that comes out by prayer and fasting. But then on the other hand, there's also a section where the Pharisees are asking Jesus, why don't you tell your disciples to fast? And he's like, they will fast when I'm gone. So it's like, I don't know, what does God really expect of us? Like, does fasting really make God answer you more? Or does fasting really, like, now as I failed my fast twice, I still continued. So let me say that I still continued with the fast after I broke it. I just started doing 6 to 6 instead of doing 24 hours. And then I still continued with the retreat. I still continued with the no outing and, all the other aspects of it. No secular music, secular entertainment, no social gatherings and all of that. I still continued, but I still did fail, if we're being real, because my original intention was to do no food. And then the first time I lost my temper. So it's like, what is the conclusion of the matter? I don't know. But what I would say that I learned from this fasting experience is that God's love is like beyond our comprehension and beyond our limitations. I feel like it was interesting to me that I ended my fast on that day where I was studying God's love, and I realized that while we are still sinners, like, he sent Jesus. So it's like, even when I think about my own personal testimony about, how he saved me, I was high and drunk the day of my accident. So it's like, he saves us when we're unworthy. He blesses us even when we're unworthy. Like, so are those, is it like, I'm skeptical. I don't know, like, I'm feeling skeptical because I don't want this video to discourage people from fasting, but I just feel like I think we need to be talking more about God's love, because almost every church was doing a fasting series this January, this first month. Like, I feel like it's something people do, like first month we dedicate it to God. But I feel like there should be more of like teachings about the right way to fast, the right mindset to fast with, because when I now failed, the food aspect of it, I now just became more intentional about getting clarity from God, deepening my relationship with God, speaking to him more, trying to understand him more and understand more of what he wanted from me, instead of just giving him what I felt like he would find acceptable, or what I felt like I was meant to do, or what I felt like was proper. I hope this video has made some kind of sense, because I really have no conclusion to the video. I just wanted to share that, you know, I came out of my fasting experience just realizing that we can't limit God, and, you know, the best way to show your commitment to God is not necessarily by starving yourself or punishing yourself or isolating yourself. It's more so about drawing near to him, committing to him, being closer to him, seeking his will, reading his word, like trying to understand him more and understand more of, you know, what he wants for your life, not necessarily telling him this is what I want and this is what I'm doing for you to give it to me, you know. I would love to hear your fasting experience. I would love to hear, you know, if you've ever done, you know, that kind of drastic fast. And yeah, I would love to know your thoughts about fasting in general. I love you. Jesus loves you the most. And I'll see you tomorrow.